the Madman! New mode, Wizard Duels, takes the dungeon run mode into competitive PvP. And of course, I'm here to provide you insight about my initial ideas and strategies and thoughts about all the 10 heroes. Wizard Duels takes from the sets of Naxxramas, from Karazhan, and from the newest set Scholomance, as well as the basic and classic set. Having done some looking through Naxxramas and through Karazhan, those cards are actually quite a bit weaker than those of Scholomance, so you probably won't see that many cards from the older sets. That said, Naxxramas does have a few really good death rattles, and there are interactions with death rattles, so those might be popular cards that specifically will come from Naxxramas. The mode is really unique in that there's a lot of different types of environments you have to adapt your deck around. The first game you play, it's 20 health versus 20 health, so naturally that's going to be all about just having a good tempo deck, and I think you are going to want to start off with that one no matter how big of a combo deck you may be, because you want to win that first one since 3 losses and you're out. So you probably want to start with a tempo deck. Maybe you try to get as greedy as possible by building, the theme that you're adjusting your deck towards, but initially, tempo deck. With that in mind, let's take a look at all the heroes. Starting with Demon Hunter, and Star Student Selena definitely has one of the strongest hero powers of this list, especially in terms of tempo. Her hero power is gain +1 attack this turn. After you attack and destroy a minion, gain a second slice. That's a really strong hero power. It's the default Demon Hunter hero power for 1 mana, but added is the benefit of get a second slice, just casually. And the get a second slice is the 1 mana +2 attack, which makes your hero power nearly as good as Galakrond's hero power, or maybe to some extent even better because you can save up second slices. It becomes something like 2 mana, gain +3 attack. Wow. Really, really good for tempo. I've played a lot of Arena recently, and I can say, with the dual class Arena, the Demon Hunter hero power has been best since it's best for tempo. Just getting the extra second slice each turn, that's pretty insane. Should make Demon Hunter a really strong pick early. The treasure is Summoning Ritual. 4 mana, summon 3 demons from your deck. They are dormant for 2 turns. This is going to reward you for playing big demons in your deck. I think the card is powerful enough that you should put big demons in your deck. The one thing to note about the Demon Hunter class is that your choice of cards may be much more limited. I am not entirely sure whether or not the Initiate set is in for the Demon Hunters. Given that there's probably not going to be any cards from Outlands, that does remove a lot of the Demon Hunter cards. Forest Warden Omu leads the Druids with the hero power 2 mana, choose 1, +2 attack this turn, or spell damage +2 this turn. That second one in particular, spell damage +2, is very spicy and may allow for some disgusting combo decks near the end. Of course, spell damage +2 with swipe is going to be very good as well. The treasure is Warden's Insight, refresh your mana crystals, or summon a treant for each mana crystal you have for 3 mana. And that's pretty sweet. At 5 mana, for 3 mana you just summon 5 treants. That's really nice. And it's got the alternative super combo. Just for 3 mana you refresh your mana crystals. At 10, that's a +7 mana play. So Druid looks really interesting to set up for a combo deck. You just gotta get through the initial tempo rounds, and maybe that deck will fall in. Could be one of the most disgusting classes in the end game. Maybe near unbeatable with a ridiculous combo. Professor Slate leads the Hunters, with the hero power being something like the normal Hunter hero power of deal 2 damage to an enemy hero. But on top, you also get to give a random friendly minion +1 attack. The hero power is clearly set up for a very aggressive deck, and I think Slate's going to be one very fearsome face deck. Slate wins a lot of early rounds, where you can just kill their 20 health hero pretty easily, and your hero power does 10% of their health each click, plus gives an attack to a friendly minion if you have one. With sticky minions such as Haunted Creeper possible, that could be really good. Note that Hunter in particular has a bunch of death rattles, and one of the synergies in the set is death rattles, so might see some sort of death rattle Hunter leading with Haunted Creeper or the good old Undertaker and Mad Scientist. That's going to be a throwback. The treasure is Slate Syringe. Steal 3 attack and health from an enemy minion. Give +3/+3 to a random friendly beast. So you're going to want beasts. Mage is led by Mozaki, Master Duelist. And the hero power is Worm Bolt, 2 mana, deal 1 damage. If this kills a minion, summon a Mana Worm. Now that is probably one of the biggest impact hero powers. Mana Worm, you can consider a Mana Worm to be, about a 1.5 mana card. Previously was 1 mana, nerfed to 2 mana because 1 mana was too good. So every single time you do your hero power of normal Fire Blast, if you kill it, you get a Mana Worm. That's a huge value and probably one of the strongest hero powers out of this lineup. Makes up for probably one of the weakest treasures in the lineup. Of 1 mana, your hero power deals 1 extra damage after each use, lose 1 durability. This does at least combo with the hero power, where you get to deal 2 damage, and then if it kills a minion, summon a Mana Worm. So the Wand of Dueling kind of makes sense. Look set up for some sort of tempo or value or control deck. Maybe one of spells because you naturally want Mana Worm to cast spells. There's also treasures out there which synergize, giving you spell damage or perhaps make your spells discounted. So a small spell mage looks like a pretty decent opening thought for this class. Paladin's led by Turelian, the Tenured. Hero power from Golden Light, 2 mana. Summon a friendly minion that died this game with 1 health. So that's always going to be better. Well, no, not always. Almost always better than summon a 1/1 Silverhand Recruit. Where this hero really synergizes with is Death Rattles and Reborn. Note, however, that Reborn cards are not necessarily cards that you can put into your deck initially, because that's from a set, Old Doom, that isn't part of the decks that you can construct from, though you may be offered Reborn cards in buckets later on. Divine Shield should also be really good with this. Treasure, Royal Greatsword. 6 mana, 6/3, that's a monster of a weapon. After you attack someone, a legendary minion from your deck, you're rewarded for building Big Paladin here. Put some huge minions into your deck, swing with the Royal Greatsword. I could see Turelian perhaps being weaker in the first initial rounds, but the Royal Greatsword, that's a monster. You're going to want to put some huge legends into your deck, and you always tutor from the Royal Greatsword. Very interesting style of play. Just try to bolster up your early game so you don't get 0-3'd. Priest is led by Mindrender Lucia. Insane hero power, 2 mana, restore 3 health to a character. If it is still damaged, draw a card. You not only get stronger heal from Priest, this is also basically life tap, except instead of losing 2 health, you gain 3 health. Wow, and even better than just life tap, if you heal damaged minions and they still are damaged, you also draw a card. So an insane hero power, which is going to really reward you building Priest towards a zoo, a high health zoo. And in the preview event, I actually got the insane, all of your minions that are 2 or less converted mana cost have poisonous. And given that that's a possibility, that makes zoo even more strong. The treasure is actually weak, perhaps to make up for the strong hero power. The Fractured Spirits clearly don't fit into a zoo deck. For 5 mana, you summon 2 copies of a silenced minion. The cost of doing business as Priest, perhaps. Rogue is led by Infiltrator Lillian. She's got a slightly improved rogue hero power, but pretty mediocre, I'm gonna say. The base hero power is the exact same as the rogue hero power. If you combo, play a cheap card before, like maybe Backstab, you get to equip a 2/2 dagger instead, which isn't necessarily that inspiring, but, pretty decent. Treasure, Deadly Weapons 101, 3 mana, give your weapon +2/+1, combo, also give it poisonous. So if you just play this on the comboed dagger, you have a 4/3 dagger, which is enough to kill, more than half of your opponent's hero health in the early game. Looks to be a tempo type of build, which is good given that the early game is all about tempo. The hero power makes me a little bit scared given how much better the Demon Hunter hero power is, but perhaps the deeper amount of cards that Rogue can draw from will give her the edge over Demon Hunter. We'll have to see. Instructor Fireheart leads Shaman, and leads Shaman in a very specific way with the hero power Totemic Power. 2 mana, summon a random totem. If you're overloaded, summon a non-basic totem as well, and that reward is huge. And obviously you should build an overload deck if you play this hero. Pretty straightforward. build a tempo overload deck, press that totemic power, and profit. The treasure is Fluctuating Totem, stealth for 1 turn. At the end of your turn, evolve adjacent minions, 2 mana 0/3. That's pretty good value. Might want to run some Evolve cards with it. Cards with battle cries that have bad stats for the mana, but when you play the Fluctuating Totem, you get some massive value. Also, some treasures reward battle cries, so battle cry overload Shaman may be the go-to here. I look at Arch Witch Willow leading Warlocks, and I cry a little bit at this hero power. The hero power is Dark Arts for 2 mana, look at up to 4 cards in your hand and discard 1, then draw 1 card. That is hands down the worst hero power I've seen. I hope this gets changed. It's possible that this actually got changed, but if it didn't, this is hands down the weakest one. 2 mana to discard 1 and draw 1. You might say there's all this discard synergy, and Karazhan is one of the sets. You do have the card that's 3 mana, 3/3. When it's discarded, it's put into play instead, and that's probably the card you want to combo with this hero power. You probably want to draft as many of those as possible and then just use the Dark Arts with it. Also, if you have no hand, you probably just pay 2 mana and then draw 1 card. Life tap without paying mana. Probably want to build this in a zoo style. The treasure, Impish Aid, 3 mana 4/3 demon. Whenever you summon a demon, give it +2/+2. Cool, that also rewards a zoo style. Play a small demon deck. Finally, you've got Rattlegore, a warrior hero. No guts, no glory, deal 1 damage to a minion for 2 mana. If it lives, it gains +2 attack. If it dies, gain 2 armor. It's Inner Rage with a bonus. Pretty weak hero power compared to the Mage hero power, which summons a mana worm if you kill something. This just makes you gain 2 armor. It is 2 mana for up to +2 attack if you use it on one of your minions, which is about to trade, or it could be played in an aggressive tempo deck. It probably will be a aggressive tempo deck that Rattlegore is. Because you imagine that Inner Rage is good in a deck which takes advantage of cards which, when they take damage, you get some benefit. The treasure actually does that. Auto Armaments, 4 mana 2/6. Whenever this takes damage, draw a minion from your deck and give it +1/+1. So, makes sense to build Rattlegore in a tempo way and put in a bunch of cards like Frothing Berserker or cards like that in order to gain some benefit when you're dealing damage to them and then making them gain +2 attack, as well as triggering their benefit. My initial impressions here are that the following hero powers look really strong. Priests, which you want to build a zoo with, just have fuel for days and heal and control the board. Demon Hunter's hero power is really strong. The only drawback is perhaps you don't have very many good cards in Demon Hunter. We'll have to see. Instructor Fireheart's hero power looks insane if the Overload deck doesn't suck that much. Mage's hero power is really strong for just a value over time deck. And a bit of a wild card, Forest War No Move. He actually manages to survive into the late game and builds an insane combo deck. Spell damage +2 for your hero power, and then the ability to refresh your entire mana pool with a treasure. That could make for a pretty gross deck. So looking forward to trying all of these classes out with the new Wizard Duels mode. Hopefully with this initial insight, you're going to have just a slightly more disgusting deck planned out.